Get off the keyboard. Come on. Come on. Get off. No, no, no. Get off the keyboard. No, no. No, no, kitty. No. Hello everybody, and welcome to the second Blog of Warcraft video. You may not recognize this character, which you may consider kind of odd, because the purpose of my last video was to introduce all my characters. Don't worry, I'll explain this later. For the moment, I want to really quickly predict what I think will happen in the 5-man Arthas encounter, so that I can look at that spoiler site without it affecting my prediction. Actually, on second thought, I should probably edit that last bit out. So, judging from various stuff that's been on the Blizzard site and they mentioned at BlizzCon and stuff, I'm going to hazard a guess that when Arthas is fought in the 5-man, he will not have Frostmourne with him, and possibly otherwise be, like, not on his guard and in a weakened state or something like that. I think the encounter itself is primarily going to be the 5 players keeping Arthas occupied or keeping his attention away from something or whittling him down a bit until major lore characters show up. If you're Horde, this may include Jaina, and if you're Alliance, this may include Sylvanas. There's also probably going to be Tyrion Fordring, Darion Mograine, Muradin, Uther, who knows, maybe Arthas' sister, but since she's mysteriously disappeared, probably not. And yes, I know that Uther's dead, but honestly, since when has Blizzard ever cared about whether a character is dead? I think that these major lore characters, possibly working together or something, will be the actual ones who bring down Arthas, and that the 5 players aren't really going to be the ones who do it. As I said, they simply will be keeping him occupied or something. At the end, Arthas will either be redeemed or die. Actually, he'll probably die either way, except he may die redeemed or he may die still evil. There will probably be a long cutscene, which I personally hope will be something like the Wrathgate event, but almost certainly will not be, which will involve, you know, the whole fight between the lore characters and Arthas, and possibly, like, I don't know, Jaina crying over his corpse or something. And there may possibly be a little bit, like, in a book that was about Arthas that was written recently, there's kind of this idea that Arthas and Ner'zhul are not actually perfectly kind of joined together, and that Arthas may have in fact actually betrayed Ner'zhul and kind of defeated him mentally or something. I'm not sure, I haven't actually read the book, I've just heard about it. If this is the case and they bring this up, then this encounter might possibly include somehow aiding Arthas in a mental battle against Ner'zhul, or vice versa, depends which one is actually more evil. Keep in mind, this is all just my predictions, and may be proven completely and totally wrong in some point in the future. I do hope that you get to kill him, in a way, in a 5-man, or at least kind of like see him killed by lore characters in 5-man, you know. I didn't forget to mention that I think Bolvar for Dragon and Zarfang the Younger are coming back as raid bosses in Icecrown Citadel, did I? And if you haven't figured out by now, this first clip of video is my Death Knight Loctalia using the Orb of Deception, which transforms you into a member of the opposite faction. So, this video is about various ways you can transform your character in World of Warcraft, such as the Orb of Deception. And so, you know, now that I've predicted my Arthas thing, I'm going to go through this. So, one of the most obvious ways of transforming is through druids. Here we have bear form. If I remember correctly, you get this at level 10. I think I didn't actually get this until 11 or 12 though, because there was a mob you had to kill to get it, and that was kind of hard and annoying to do. I'm not feral, so my druid is probably not going to be in bear or cat form much. By the way, this is cat form. While bear form is kind of simulating being a warrior, cat form is kind of simulating you being a rogue. However, neither is quite as good at, doing the thing as an actual rogue warrior, of course, or else druids would be very overpowered. However, in cat form you can stealth, which is something that I have used a lot, or at least until I got flight form, which you saw in a previous video, and you'll see again in a minute. But yeah, in many ways, flight form can be handier than stealth. By the way, the gear that you see or saw me wearing a moment ago will probably change over time, seeing as I'm leveling my druid through Northrend and he's gonna get new gear. So this is travel form. It's kind of hard to show you on that little tiny iceberg, but it just makes you go faster, makes you immune to polymorph effects, shape-shifting, frees you from movement slowing effects. Really quite handy. Oh yeah, and here's flight form. So, very fun. I use it a lot. It's, I got the book that allows you to learn cold weather flying before level 77. So here's Moonkin form, which you may not actually see me using a lot, because it seems like when I'm soloing I always need to be healing myself, and that's not very easy to do. You're not able to do that while you're a Moonkin. See, I just started casting that healing spell and it shape-shifted me out. If you didn't know, Moonkin is something you get from speccing in the balance tree. There's also another form you get from talents, which is tree form, which you won't see until I manage to get enough money to dual spec. So this is swim form or water form or something like that. I don't use it a whole lot, as flight form is better for getting around water because it's faster. And it is possible to shift flight form out of water, but it is kind of inconvenient to do. Really quickly, this is what you become if you do the dancing thing on the Day of the Dead. In this clip, I'm going to be showing you Dartel's Rod, which transforms you into a full Furbolg. I think it's oddly popular. I mean, okay, yeah, I'm Furbolg. Not actually that interesting. Had to do a Alliance quest chain in Ashenvale to get it. It doesn't break on combat, but it does break on damage. So, if you're fighting any boss that does AoE, it won't work for very long.